Yo, what's up, Chicago Bears fans? This is Chicago Bears Sports Talk. Michael here today with another video. Can the Chicago Bears continue their luck streak against the Los Angeles Rams into the divisional round? So the Bears are coming off a of a win against the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round, and Caleb Williams secured the uh, the Bears playoff wins, which the Bears haven't done that since 2011 and ended their 20-year playoff drought. I believe because there was a stat that said that the Dolphins were number one, number two was the Bears, and I think number three was the Jets. And Caleb Williams ended the Chicago Bears playoff drought by beating the Green Bay Packers. But let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. At the beginning of the year, Matthew Stafford was having a MVP season. He should win it, but they're most likely going to give it to Drake May to end the year. And they were the best team in the league and were in Super Bowl conversations. But ever since then, they lost the division to Seattle and pretty much have stumbled into the playoffs with beating and they struggled against the Panthers for majority of four quarters. And there was a point where the Panthers, who was that receiver that dropped the ball on them? Well, the point is the Rams are beatable. However, so are the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to explain why this game can go. And I've said this in my community tab. The question I have for Homer Bears fans, the Homer Bears fans that I know that question to say what team you're rooting for when I am presenting these cautiously, respectable things, and then I'm not like someone that just wants prefers a new quarterback. No, I'm calling it how I see it. But going back on topic, the question still remains: if hypothetically, because this is a likely possible, that the Chicago Bears are in a similar position like they were against the Green Bay Packers against the Rams, where one, Caleb Williams struggled, and then the offense legit was going we're going for it on fourth down in our old territory, and I saw a stat they were like 1-5 on fourth down that game. So hypothetically speaking, let's say the Rams are up 21-3, and it's like, because I believe that was the score at halftime. Yeah, that was the score at halftime. But the way the Bears have played throughout the entire game, do you think the Los Angeles Rams are going to do what the Green Bay Packers did? Let me explain it to you step by step, like I'm explaining it to like you're a 2 years old, because obviously some Bears fans are. And yes, I'm not letting it spoil the moment. It is good to beat the Packers, but however, the objective in the playoffs is to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Not saying the Bears should do that, but that's the objective. When you make the playoffs, your objective is to win the Super Bowl. So we can all agree Matt LaFleur is not he's a very good head coach, but he's not an elite one like Sean McVay, who has been in that experience. He almost choked the lead to Tom Brady, but they were able to capitalize on that win and go to the Super Bowl. Because you want to know why? Because they are a well-coached team, and they also have explosive weapons on offense. The Packers do not have explosive. Well, they do kind of do, but I'm pretty sure we can agree that Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are going to be two reasons why the Rams could be explosive on offense. And the Bears defense has not been looking good the past 3 games. They gave up, I think it was 40 points to the 49ers. And they gave up, yeah, you could say that they gave up 16 against the Lions, but during that time they were bending but not breaking, and they gave up 29 points, I believe, no, 27 to the Green Bay Packers. So only one game where you can say, yeah, but 16 points is still a lot of points. But here's the thing though. The Bears are getting a boost with CJ Gardner-Johnson back in the lineup. So that should be a huge help for the Bears lately. But here's the thing though. This offense has, and I said this before and I said this in my community tab. The Bears cannot rely on fourth quarter comebacks. Name any team in the NFL that's won the Super Bowl that has only won games in the fourth quarter. I'll wait. And to be honest with you, the Bears could beat the Rams. However, them playing down to the competition make this, a 50-50 game, because and plus we can say, oh, Stafford is like 1-8 in the at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because the Bears have been tripping over landmines these past 3 games, and San Francisco showed how you beat the Bears defense. And granted, they got exposed too, but the point is, this Bears defense is not scaring anybody, and the offense is going to go far, because Ben Johnson was getting too cute at times. He kept going for it. So my other point is, Caleb Williams needs to know when to, throw the ball in moments and make smart plays, but not. He has to, make smart plays when you're in the playoffs. And yes, you could say, well, it was his first playoff game. I get that. At the same time, this whole team had this moment saying you can't always rely on the fourth quarter, and that's the games that they lost. Like I said, this is the worst Bears team in the Ben Johnson era, but that proves how the Bears can win long term if they get the right pieces. And now I just got a report that Ozzy is will be missing the rest of the playoffs due to a knee injury, and the Bears will be starting Theo Bennett, their left tackle, to be at their offensive line. So I think the best way you beat if Ben Johnson does not want to rely on the fourth quarter is you have to attack the Rams, because Bryce Young had all the time in the world in that pocket, and if Bryce Young can pick apart the Rams defense with rookie receivers and no name receivers, then you can't tell me the Bears can't do the same thing with a quote unquote promising quarterback like Caleb Williams that has exceeded a lot of expectations, exceeded my expectations. He should be able to pick them apart with the weapons, and the Bears have better weapons than the Carolina Panthers. And plus, and this should be another shootout. And I know people want to say, oh, Stafford struggles in the cold. Look, at the end of the day, we can't rely. Yeah, if you have to rely on weather conditions, you can't. Because I hate to break news to you, Bears fans, the Super Bowl is not in Soldier Field. It is in Santa Clara. And anybody with a brain knows that we can't rely on weather, because there are teams that pretty much, are what my point is, if you can't rely on weather conditions to win games, because Super Bowl's not in a home stadium. It's not the NBA playoffs where they play one stadium. No, the Super Bowl's in a different state, so you're gonna have to not rely on your home field to guarantee anything. But like I said, should the Bears win this? Yes, they should. However, they continue to make things interesting, not in a very good way, but in a way where it's like, oh, if you turn off the TV for a second, then stuff is gonna get interesting. But like I said, who do I believe is winning this game? Like I said, the Bears should win, but like I said, if the this is another 50-50 game for me, and I just want Bears fans to know, regardless of this game goes, I am not going to say anything in the community tab or the previous video. I'm just going to say the Bears have exceeded expectations already. This was a successful season for them, and if you're expecting Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, but nah, that ain't going to happen. But because, like I said, the teams that the Bears will face are not going to do what the Green Bay Packers did. I promise you. And their kicker, who the fuck is the Rams kicker? Somebody remind me, but their kicker is probably better than Brandon McManus. So pretty much, if they're in a similar situation, they're making that kick to potentially ice the game for the Bears. So look at it from a perspective and say, okay, he's probably cautious for the right reasons. I'm not like some other Bears fan that says, "Oh, we would go to the Super Bowl with Tyson Bagent," but that's clown thinks he's relevant. But that's it. That's all. Hit the subscribe button and let me know your prediction down below in the comment section. As always, bear down.